Welcome to Marina's kitchen. Today I'm going to make some beef rissoles. I'm going to put them in some pappardelle pasta ribbons. They have like a little nest inside. I'm going to put a rissole in the middle of it and I'm going to bake it with some tomato sauce. Now first of all, what I do first of all is I like to make my sauce beforehand because it'll just simmer for 20 minutes. So what I put in here was I put in a bottle of Passata, and then I put salt and pepper, and I've got some basil and a garlic. So I put that all together, and then I've put a dash of olive oil, and I'll let it simmer for 20 minutes. So that can be done beforehand. I like to do it beforehand and just sit there. Now what I'm going to do is make my beef rissoles. I've got 250 grams of beef here, and I've put some parsley through it. What I've got here is a slice of white bread. I have I've soaked it and squeezed it out. And then I've got some Parmesam cheese. I just like to put a bit of that in, about a couple of tablespoons, and an egg. Now just mix that all together. That's to make your rissoles. You've got your parsley in there, you've got your egg, you've got your cheese, and I like to have that little bit of slice of white bread to just bind it all together. And this will make up, it's only about 250 grams of beef mince here. It makes about half a dozen too. I need 6 here because I'm going to fill up 6 of those pappardelle pasta. So what I've done is I've done my rissoles here. I've got half a dozen of them done up like that. Just little round rissoles like that. And I'll put that on the side for now. Now what this is here, it's pappardelle pasta ribbons. There's half a dozen in these boxes like this. Is only a 225 gram box. There's half a dozen of them in there. Now you can put them in there raw, but I like to have them, just put them in boiling water. I like to put them in there for 2 to 3 minutes just to soften them up. Don't put them in too longer because the egg nest of the pappardelle ring will just all flatten out a little bit. So what I do now is I'm going to put some sauce on the bottom of, I've got a Pyrex dish here, and the half a dozen just sits nicely in this. It's about 15 by 19 centimeters. It's nice and deep. I like to have that depth, so because they'll sit in there. I like to have them sitting in there nice and snugly instead of spreading out, because then they'll just spread out. Because I'm going to put that beef rissole inside that pasta, I like to just have it standing up. So now I'm just going to get some of this pasta sauce. So I'm just going to put some on the bottom there like that. Be generous with it because that pasta's got to cook into it. So that's a fair bit there in there like that. Now what I do is I get my nest. I have cooked these for 2 or 3 minutes, and they do a little bit fall out a little bit, but you get the idea of it. What I do is I'll put that rissole in the middle of it like that, squash it down, and then I'll put it in there like that. There you go. It's quite simple. I'll do another one until I've done the whole lot. I've only given this about 2 or 3 minutes because I don't want it to all fall apart. I'll put another rissole in the middle of that nest and just put that in the middle there like that. And keep on doing that for the whole 6 of them. Put another one in there like that. Just open it up a little bit so you can put the rissole in the middle, and that cooks in really lovely. You've got your meat and you've got your pasta all in the one. So there you go. That's how they sit up nicely. I have 3 on that side and 3 on this side, so they won't fall apart if they just sort of stand up like that. And you keep doing that with the whole lot of it. You just put it in the middle of that ring. This one just opened up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Just get the idea of push it together, put that meat in the middle of it, and it'll sit in there and cook in there very nicely. There's another one here. So I'll just do this one. put that risole in there and another one in there. This is quite a nice dish because it's got your meat in there and your pasta all in the one thing. It's just a little bit different from a lasagna or any other thing. This one here sort of broke it up a little bit, but it doesn't matter. You get the idea of doing the same thing. You put your risole in the middle and you can squash him down in the corner there. He'll go nicely, snugged in there, and that's all you do. So there you go. You've got half a dozen of those lovely pappardelle pasta ribbons with your minced rissoles inside. Now all we have to do is we have to sort of, I have to put my mozzarella cheese on top of it. I'm nearly forgetting it. There you go. You've got to fill them up with that little mozzarella cheese right in that little nest on each of them like that. Nice and snugly. Fair bit of nice mozzarella cheese in there. That'll just melt all in there. Nice bit. When they come out, then you can put some nice Parmesan cheese on top. This is nice just for a side dish or an entree. And then you could have a bit of garlic bread with it and have a side salad. There you go. Now, it has to be pretty generous with this sauce because it has to cook that pasta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread it all around nicely so it gets it all evenly enough to cook that. Now that'll cook, 35 minutes to 45 in about 200 degrees oven. So what you do is put a generous amount of tomato sauce because that has to cook, otherwise it'll just go dry. But if you have any tomato sauce left over, when you take it out and it looks a bit dry, all you can do is just pour some of that on the top of it and it'll be just as nice. There you go. That is sufficient there. It looks nice. It looks as if it's got enough there to cook that. Now what I do, I've got a little bit left over here. You can keep that. You can keep it to use it after, or you can put it in a jar and keep it for... I like to keep some of this even when I'm making a chicken parmigiano or a veal parmigiano and have that sauce there. You can always use it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put my baking paper on top and my alfoil. Now, as I said, just bake that in a 200 degrees oven. It probably would take 45 minutes, but you can have a look at it and see if that pasta it should be cooked in that time. What I'll do now is I'm going to show you the one that I've already cooked. I'm going to serve this. Now when you're taking it out, just be careful that when you're taking it out, that there they go. Take a nice deep spoon and just take one out at a time, and you can just dig in there and just take one out at a time like that. It'll come out. You've got your beef risole in there and just take it out. There you go. Now what you can do with that, as I said, if it looks a bit dry, you can just put a bit of Parmesan cheese on top or some more sauce. Now what you're going to do is I'm going to spread it with some nice Parmesan cheese on top. And I've also got a nice piece of, serve it with some nice garlic bread. And there you go. That is something different. You've got your meat in there with that lovely ribbon pasta with that lovely sauce. It's just something different. And well, look, I like freezing dishes. Now this is something like lasagna. You can freeze it or you can prepare it beforehand and then just put it in the oven. So it's very simple and easy to do. Just, I hope you'll try it and enjoy it. Thank you for watching.